Hello, how are you, dear students? Yes, studying well, doing your homeworks, completing all the worksheets? Yes or no? I hope you all are doing all the subjects equally well and enjoying all the video classes, right? Yes. So, are you all ready for the next segment? Are you all ready for the next module? Ready? No? Yes. Here I am, Vidya, here with the next third module of our story. What is the name of the story? You all remember, right? The name of the story is The Three Musketeers and Artignan. Right? The name of the story is Three Musketeers and Artignan. Written by whom? Who wrote this story? Do you remember? Who wrote the story? Yes. You all are correct. Written by Alexander Dumas. And he lived, his period was 1802 to 1870. Okay, now that you remember the name of the story and the writer, do you remember? So the story is taken from which book? The extract is taken from which novel? Do you all remember? Here is the answer in front of you. Come on, speak aloud. The answer is from one of the world famous classic novel by name Three Musketeers, right? Written by Alexander Dumas. We only have one chapter from this particular novel. So the chapter name is The Three Musketeers and Artignan. Right, very good. So who all are involved in the story? Do you remember? In the last two modules, we have completed some part of the story. Almost 3/4 of the story is done, right? So who all are involved? One is Athos, second Porthos, third Aramis, and fourth it is Artignan. Very good, brilliant. Now, so yeah, there are other characters like D. Traveler and also the guards, and one more character is, what is the other character name? Usiak. This character till now there is no name, no reference of this character till now, but the other characters are involved. So far you have seen all of them. So you all remember the story, what happened in the first and second modules, right? Now they are ready to have a fight. What is this particular fight called as? What is this particular fight that they are referring to? How is it referred in those times? It is called duel. Yes? You all remember what is a duel? Duel is nothing but a fight, a formal fight between two or three people, opponents, and you need one or two people for support. And why are these people fighting? Is there any solid reason for fighting? Do you think there is some solid reason for the fight? No, right? They are fighting because Artignan, by mistake, just it so happened that he fell on and injured Athos, and he got irritated, and all three friends they got into an argument, and they decided to have a fight. Now it is hot afternoon and the fight is about to begin, and the place that they have chosen for the fight is so very hot. What is the time referred? Do you remember? I also explained about the time, right? What time is it in the afternoon? It is exactly, the sun was to the zenith, right? This was our last paragraph, if I am not wrong, right? The time was 12:15, right? In the noon, exactly. So they have chosen this time to fight, and first, who is going to fight with Artignan? The first person to fight with Artignan is none other than Athos, right, with his left hand. Though because he is injured on his right, he'll be fighting with his left. Clear? Okay. Now, what happens then? They are just about to get ready for the fight, and I'll read the last paragraph where we stopped. Page number 50. Everybody look into your books. You have books. Otherwise, you all know, you have to listen to me very carefully. We are doing page number 50 today. Right. At these words, with a gallant air, Artignon draws his sword. It is a quarter past midday. The sun is in its zenith, and spot chosen for this scene of duel has no shade at all. This is what I have just now discussed. There is no shade and the time is 12:15 in the noon. Right. What happens now? Athos. It is very hot, and yet I cannot take off my doublet, for I just now felt my wound being to bleed again, and I should not like to annoy Monsieur with the sight of the blood. So, what is Athos saying? Athos says that I do not want, it's all so hot outside, very hot afternoon. Okay, I can't remove my doublet. What do you mean by doublet? The textbook meaning is given. See, a man's short, close-fitting padded jacket worn from the 14th to 17th century. So it's kind of a protection jacket that they wear, or maybe from the weather or something that he was wearing at that time. He wanted to remove the doublet, the jacket, but he cannot remove because of the hot weather, and also because he is little strained and all of that. The injury, the wound started to bleed again, and this man doesn't want to show it to Monsieur. What do you mean by Monsieur? French word, Mr. or Sir. You remember, right? Very good. So he was telling that I cannot show my injury and my bleeding to the other person, to my opponent, so I have to wear this doublet. Okay. Now, Artignan. This is true, Monsieur, and whether drawn by myself or another, I assure you, I shall always view with regret the blood of so brave a gentleman. I will therefore fight in my doublet like yourself. So, at that very point when he was feeling little inconvenient with the jacket and all, Artignan immediately says, I totally understand whatever you're feeling right now, and whenever I see the injury and the bleeding, I regret for a moment. What do you mean by regret? When do you regret? When something happens without your intention, right? It was not your intention to hurt that person or something, or it was not your intention to do something, but it happened like that, right? So you regret. I regret going to movie because it's not a good movie. So you did not want to watch the movie, but then you went and you're feeling bad for your decision, right? So likewise here also he says that I regret. Okay. And then he also says that I too will fight with my doublet. He is going to wear the jacket as well. Who is he here that I'm referring? It is Artignan. Good. Aramis. Next Porthos. Porthos, come. Enough of such compliments. Remember, we are not waiting for your turns. We are not waiting for your turns. So Porthos, after listening to Artignan, he says that, no, I am not going to, enough of all these compliments and all of this. Come, let's get into action. Now it's your turn. He says, Aramis, speak for yourself. For my part, I think what they say is very well said and quite worthy of two gentlemen. So whatever he says right now, who is saying this now? Aramis says, I am fine with whatever the two gentlemen are speaking. They make sense that one is feeling bad about whatsoever has happened. The other at the same time wants to fight with some good manners. He doesn't want to show the injury and all of this. So all of this is very well with me. I'm fine with whatever they are speaking, says Athos. When you please, monsieur. Okay. So he says, I am ready now. Whenever you say, yes, I am ready to fight. I am ready for the duel. Antigone, at your service, sir. So he is also ready. Okay. Hardly have the two blades clink together when a company of guards commanded by Monsieur de Jussieu enter. What happened? Just then, they were saying, I'm ready for the fight. When they were ready for the fight, hardly have their blades clinked together. What do you mean by that? What are these blades? Blades are nothing but swords. Do you know what kind of sound does a sword produce? Clinking sound. Yes or no? You must have, I asked you to watch Bahubali, the last fight, right? The clinking sound. They just crossed their swords like this, and they understood that something else happened. When they clinked their swords together, someone came there. Who is that? Hardly they have the two blades. Blades here means swords. Okay, clink together when a company of guards. So there was an army. Okay, guards commanded by Monsieur de Jussieu enter. So there was an army personnel. They have just arrived listening to this clinking sound of blades. Blades are nothing but swords. I repeat. Now what happens? Aramis, they're speaking. The guards, he says. Okay. Porthos, sheath your swords, gentlemen, sheath your swords. So they immediately Porthos says, put the knives in your back in their places. Don't show them to the guards. Okay, Porthos was advising Athos and Antigone. Don't show them. What happens then? Jussieu. Now he is speaking. Advancing towards them and making a sign to his men to do the same. He was coming forward. Like this. And all the army personnel who came with him were also doing, the soldiers. Right. Hello. Hello there. Hello there. You musketeers. He addresses. Hello there. Hello there. You musketeers. Yes, he says. Fighting again? He asked. What about the edicet, gentlemen? What about the edicet? He was asking. What do you mean by edicet here? A public order issued by someone in power. So, what was the question asked by Jussieu here? You started fighting again, he asked. And for the fighting, you need some permission. That permission, where is the permission letter? He's asking to show. Where is it? You know, it's illegal to fight without it. Do you understand? It is illegal to fight without a proper permission from someone. Do you know this? So, sheathe your swords and follow us. So, keep the swords back in their places and come with us. He wants to take him to the king. Right? He understood this. Athos. Move closer to Porthos and Aramis and whispers. So what did Athos do at that time? He moves closer to his friends and whispers something. What do you mean by whispering? We say something like that, no? Like small words, simple words, like a secret you say something, no? Like that he was whispering something. I shall not be taken by these soldiers again. Athos was saying this. There are 5 of them and we are 3, but we shall fight them even if they kill us. Okay, what was Athos whispering in the ears of his friends? He was telling that I am not going to go with the soldiers again. I am not going to go with them. So what am I going to do? We are 3 of them and the soldiers are 5. So let's fight with them. Shall we fight with them? Okay, are you ready? Even if they kill us, I don't mind. But I don't want to go with them, says Orthos. What happens next? Orthos, Porthos and Aramis instantly draw near one another while Luciac draws up his soldiers. So, when the moment Athos has told this to his friends, all 3 friends were ready. You all remember the line with the friends? All for one, one for all. That's why 3 musketeers. So they never say no to each other. They're always good friends. So as Athos instructed, they all came together and they drew their swords for the fight. Okay, so was Luciac, the commander there, was also ready with his soldiers. Now Artignan speaks. Gentlemen, I think there is some mistake. Allow me to correct it. I think we are 4, not 3. So, what did Artignan say? There was some mistake, I think. You missed something. What is that? What did Athos miss? That he felt there are 3 people. Now, Artignan says, no, there are 4 people. What do you mean by that? What does Artignan mean by that? He is also interested in that and he is one among them. Okay, got it? He is ready to fight. Now there are 4, says Artignan. Porthos, but we are not one. But you are not one of us. Porthos was not ready. You are not one of us. Artignan says, that's true. I don't have the uniform, but I have the spirit. So he says, though I do not have the kind of uniform which you people, you musketeers have, but I have the same spirit. My heart is that of a musketeer. I can feel it, monsieur. Artignan says that my heart is like that of a musketeer. I can feel it at this moment. Okay, monsieur, sir. He is giving respect and saying these words. Orthos, well then. So Orthos is speaking. Well then, Orthos, Porthos, Aramis and Artignan. He takes names of 4 people and also says forward. Means let's go ahead for the fight. Can you see in the picture? So all 4 of them, they raise their swords and they are ready to fight now. Okay. So the dialogue ends here and a small paragraph is given at the end. What is it? Let's see. The 9 combatants rush at each other furiously. So these people were 4 and those were 5, right? So 9 combatants. What do you mean by combatants? Those who are taking part in a combat, means fight. Okay, right. The 3 musketeers and the Artignan defeat all the guards except Bicart, who surrenders by Luciac's orders. Elated, the 3 musketeers and Artignan walk arm in arm, occupying the whole width of street and taking in every musketeer they meet. Thump, thump, thump. The sound of the victory march fills the air and Artignan's heart soars with joy. So, what happened in the combat? So, the 9 of them were fighting and it is very evident that these people were stronger than that of those 5. And at last, when they were really about to quit, one of them, just after the instruction of the commander Luciac, he leaves the fight and they all surrender. Okay, we give up, they say, and they leave. And what happened now? Who won the fight? It is obvious that who all won the fight? Orthos, Porthos, Aramis, and then Artignan. 4 of them. Okay. So there was a great joy. They were all happy, and when they were going back to their village, they were making this thump, 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 that sound, okay, with their shoes, and they were walking. There was a march kind of a walk in when they were moving, okay. So, and they were meeting and they were greeting all the musketeers, whoever is coming, with great pride. They just fought with somebody and they won the fight, right? So they were so happy. And Artignon, the person who came to Paris, right? He felt so very happy, and his heart filled with joy. His heart was roaring with joy. Why he is so happy? This is what he wanted. You remember, why did Artignon come to Paris? He wanted to be a musketeer. Now he has become one because of these 3 musketeers, right? All 4 of them have become friends. So that's the story that we have. What is the story that we have? The 3 musketeers and Artignon. So, what did you learn from this story? If somebody asks you this question, it's not necessary that every story has some strong message or some strong value that it has to give, right? It is definitely a historical adventurous novel. Novel. The name of the novel is 3 Musketeers, and it was, and we have an extract from it. But still, we have something to learn. A small important thing has happened in this particular chapter, and which you all have observed, but maybe did not realize what it is, because it is underlined somewhere. What is that one thing that we all can learn from the story is the person Artignon, right? How he behaved, what was his character, and try to analyze these characters once I finish this module. Sit for 10 minutes and read the text once again. Try to analyze Athos, Porthos, Aramis, and then Artignon, 4 of them separately. Try and understand their characters. But coming back to Artignon, he came as a stranger to the land, but he made good friends here. Is it not important that we learn something from this person, right? So you may be whatever you are, but when you are in a new place and you have an ambition to grow, it's important that we make good friends, right? Instead of going for ego, instead of going for pride, instead of saying this, that and all, it's always important to be grounded, meaning you need to be you should have humility, right? And you should mingle with everybody, right? You cannot say this man is not my friend. Okay, when there was a fight situation, immediately Artignon was ready to fight with the 3 of them. Till then, he was fighting against them. Now, all of a sudden, when there was a need, he was in their thing, because he felt they are right and these people are wrong, right? So, it's important to stand for your friends. It's important to make friends. That's an underlined and the second thing that we can learn from the story. So, how was the story? Huh? You all enjoyed reading this particular part? I hope you all enjoyed, because there are elements that you all like fight and all. Very small, but still it is there. So the other day, in my previous module, I've asked you to do some homework. You remember? The last fight of Bahubali. I asked you to make it in the format of a dialogue between you and your friend. Did you all do it? Did you do it? I hope you have done it, right? And also the worksheet which I have given. So now, what is that we still have? And to the vocabulary, there's nothing much. The 3 words, as I told you, ambition, bums, and then astonished. One more word is furious. What do you mean by furious? Means you are very angry. Fury. Fury means anger, rage, like that. Okay. So that's the story. That's wonderful story that we had. The 6th lesson that we had was The Three Musketeers and Artignan, written by Alexander Dumas. If somebody asks you, whenever you're sleeping or somewhere here and there, you should be in a position to say the name of the story, who wrote the story, and everything about the story, right? A small incident, but still very interesting incident, right? Now, so as we come to the end of the story, let me give you a homework. So in the module, I'm giving you a small homework. So as you can see, these are idioms, right? Some idioms related to war. What are these idioms? First one, an act of war. Second, cross swords. Third, double-edged. Fourth, all's fair in love and war. Fourth one, drop a bombshell. Fifth one, sorry, drop a bombshell. So I have given you 5 idioms related to this particular story. Try making sentences with these idioms. Okay, try using them on your own, and not just these 5. Also figure out 5 more idioms which are related to war. Okay, it will be a fun activity for all of you along with the worksheet. This is how you can improve your language. If you see the first one, an act of war, means you can use this in terms of countries, or whenever you have somebody who shouldn't be doing or who is supposed to be peaceful and who acts the opposite way. So that time we call it an act of war. Second one, cross swords, means they were now ready to fight like that. Okay, the 2 gentlemen didn't agree, so they were ready to fight. Not the literal fighting, with words, argument kind. Third one, double-edged, means sharp, 2-way sharp knives we say, right? So it's very difficult to tackle with such people. So double-edged, both edges are sharp. We need to be very, very careful. They are very smart and intelligent people. In such cases, you can use this one. And the next one you all know, all is fair in love and war. They all say, and we all use it in day-to-day life, right? So whatever you do, in war you don't have rules and regulations. And just like in love, when you love somebody, you don't go with the rules and regulations, right? Like that. And the last one, drop a bombshell. So suddenly if somebody gives a shocking news, he dropped a bombshell, we say, right? Like that. These are the 5 idioms that I'm giving, and collect 5 more and make 10 sentences. Okay, so that's our story of the Three Musketeers and Artignan. I hope you all enjoyed and learned and also understood each and everything that's there in the module. Okay, if you do not follow something, please watch the video repeatedly. I will be enclosing, like before modules, some more pictures related to the text. Okay, thank you, students.